Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Chelsea here at Adventures in Coloring. I just wanted to show you guys my two new goodies that I got this weekend. I guess you could call it a mini haul. I don't typically get new supplies or books very often, so when I do, it's very exciting for me. So the two things that I got are first the Derwent Coloursoft 12 pencils. I'm a Prismacolor person. I have some other pencils. I have some Stellar Ergosofts, but typically I stick with my Prismacolors, so I haven't really branched out too much, but I couldn't pass up this deal. They are normally like $32 maybe, and they were on sale at Michael's for $12. Which I looked on Amazon, and that's about the price they're going for right now anyway. But I thought $12 to try out these pencils, we should go for it. They are supposed to be softer like the Prismas, which I do like. So I literally just took the plastic off. I haven't even tried them out yet. So the first thing we're going to do in this video is swatch all of the colors and then kind of test them out and see how I like them. So, you know, I thought it was safe buy a 12 set. If I really, really love them, I can always get more, but the bigger sets are kind of pricey. So that is my first exciting thing that I got this weekend. My other thing you can see underneath here is the Harry Potter coloring book. In the community, we just had the Colorathon, Harry Potter Colorathon, and I really like the Harry Potter movies, and I didn't have any books yet, but watching everyone else color in their Harry Potter books, I decided it was time for me to get one, and I just got kind of the first generic one. They have other ones that are like creatures and artifacts and characters, so I just got this first one to start with. It's made by Scholastic, I believe. So I'm sure you guys have seen flip-throughs of this book before, but if you would like one, I can always make a video. So the plan is to play with my two new goodies. I am going to swatch these out, and then we'll pick a page in here just to test out. I'm not going to do the whole page, but we'll just try it out on this paper. So bringing over my little homemade swatch book, I've already measured out some squares. I'm not the biggest swatch person. I know some people just swear by it, but I have done a few of my supplies previously. I've done my Jelly Roll gel pens. I've done my Stellar fine liners. These are my Stellar fiber tip markers. I did my Stellar Ergosoft pencils. And yeah, here we are at the Colorsofts. So now that I've pulled this out, I have measured out, you know, a few more grid pages so that I can swatch a few more of my materials. I think I'm going to swatch some of my watercolor crayons and pencils. I think the swatches are helpful for new supplies, and they're helpful for things like markers where the cap doesn't necessarily match the color. I've never swatched out my Prismacolors, and I've used them so much that I can just look at the pencil and know what color it'll be. But like I said, it's useful for new materials and markers. I also haven't swatched out my Tombos, but that's because it came with this little paper when I got them, and then I can just fill in the colors that I have on the back, so I didn't feel the need to make a whole swatch book for it. I also have swatches in the back of my Ruby Charms colors book, which I've swatched some materials in there, but that's a very thin, like Amazon type paper, so it's not always representative of how the supplies will work. This sketch book I just got at like Target or something, 75-pound paper, so decent quality. Has some texture to it, so seems to work pretty well. So like I said, we're just gonna get into swatching these colors here. Bring my camera over a little bit. So yeah, I haven't even tried these out at all. I'm not sure what any of the colors are going to look like. Just took the plastic off. And if anyone is interested in these, I'm just going to read what the back says. It says they're highly versatile colored pencils with a soft, velvety strip for the quick, dense application of bold, vibrant color. Plus, they can be easily sharpened to a fine point for detailed work, capable of being mixed and blended to create an infinite spectrum of rich, dazzling color. Derwent Coloursoft can be used for a wide variety of work, from finely detailed illustrations to bold contemporary still life and portrait. It says techniques. You can blend multiple colors to create different tones or block in colors quickly and easily. So that's just what the back says. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any Derwent products yet. I'd really like to get some Inktense, but those are pretty pricey as well. So haven't splurged on that yet. So we'll just start left to right. So as you can see, they have this kind of a brown colored body. They have the name of the color and the number. And then at the bottom you have a little indicator of what the color will look like. So this first one is Deep Cadmium C040. So we're just going to do a little and they are pretty soft. They go on pretty smoothly. I think I'll write in the names in pen, but I'm going to write the number in the pencil. 040. Deep Cadmium. And this won't take too long because we only have 12 colors. Next we have an orange. Bright orange C080. So yeah, I'd be interested in the comments if anyone else has these pencils, if you like them, if you'd recommend them, if you have any other Derwent products that you would recommend. Like I said, I'd love to get some Inktense. I'd say I'm pushing with like medium pressure right now, but I'm getting a pretty good lay down. There's a little bit of white showing through, but they're going on pretty well. So this is C080, bright orange. All right, we're going into this red color, red C120. So yeah, for those of you out there that are very much into swatching, love to hear, your reasoning, or if you're not into swatching, it's a hard word to say. I'd like to know your reasoning as well. My main deterrent is that I just have this, it's just a sketchbook, so I always have to measure out the boxes, and I'm not always in the mood to take the time to make it nice and pretty. So if I had kind of a pre-made swatch book, that might be good. I've looked into ones on Amazon, but I don't want something on the cheap paper. So I know that Coloring Bliss makes swatch books, but they're a little bit pricey. So I don't know. I'm kind of stuck with my current situation then. Nice paper, but I have to measure everything out. Okay. Next, we're going to a purple, deep fuchsia, C140. So obviously the upside to getting a little 12-pack like this is I didn't, make a huge investment. But the downside is I'm only going to have like one of each color, really. So I'm not going to get like a dark, a light, and a medium purple. I'm just going to get this one fuchsia. Okay, now we have a dark blue. This is indigo, C300. It's pretty dark. The other thing I'm kind of curious about, so these are a little bit bigger, like the barrel is bigger than my Prismacolors, so I'm wondering how well they'll sharpen in my little handheld Prismacolor sharpener. That's the best sharpener I've got, so I'll have to try that at some point. Now we have another blue, so we have two blues. This one's just called Blue, C330. Since I haven't swatched my Prismacolors on this paper, I can't really compare how well they're going down to the Prismacolors. But I have swatched my Stellar Ergosofts in here, so at the end we'll just flip back over because those are a lot harder pencil. They're a lot harder for me to blend than Prismas. Okay, going into green. This one's just called Green, C420. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else is like me, but when I go into Michael's or Hobby Lobby, you know, I'm literally just looking for those sale tags. Like, what's on clearance? What can I get a good deal on? A lot of the stuff by the time I got there was already taken that was on sale, but this was the last pack of these left. They also had, I think, some of the like Albrecht or Faber-Castell watercolor on sale, but I got there too late. But then, you know, I use some watercolor media, but I think just having standard, just kind of regular color pencils is probably better for me. So this was good that I found these. Okay, now we have lime green, C460. So we have two greens, two blues. Obviously this green can blend into yellow. I like this color. Lime green has always been one of my favorite colors. I'm a green and blue person. Okay. Now we have a dark brown, C520. It kind of has some olivey green undertones to it. When I looked, I believe that the full set of Derwent Coloursoft is a 72. So I have 12 of 72. Okay, we got another brown here, a dark terracotta, C610. Okay, and then of course we have black, C650. I don't know, if it was up to me, if I was making a 12 set, I would not put black and white. I'd rather have more colors. And it's interesting that they give us two browns. And then of course they give us a white, which, you know, that's okay. I'll just shows up a little bit on my paper because my paper is a little bit off white. That's labeled as C720. Alright, so these are the colors that we have. You know, they give you kind of one of each color, but like I said, you know, you're missing different shades. But it's enough to get you started. And then I was interested in comparing, so these are, you know, they went down pretty vibrantly. Just going to compare back a page to my Ergosofts, which you can tell the color's a lot kind of just because, you know, it's a harder pencil. You need more layers to blend and deepen the color versus these that are pretty pigmented and pretty soft and pretty bright. So there's our swatches, the Derwent Coloursoft 12 set. So I'm going to leave these just up on my screen so I can reference. And then we're going to just test out my Harry Potter book. So I've flipped through the pages and just kind of knowing that I have a limited color palette to work with these just to test out, I do just want to do, where is it? This page here. So it's like the Hogwarts crest. And then something that's kind of nice about this book is in the back, for select images, they've provided you with color pictures. They're either concept pictures or they're actually like screenshots from the film. So they've provided us with this that shows what the colors of the crest should be. So, you know, we have just basic colors here. So, you know, we have a red, a green, you know, a light blue, a yellow, and then we can kind of, silver might be a little bit hard, but you know, this golden color shouldn't be too hard to get with the yellow, orange, and browns. So that's what I think we'll test out. I'm not going to do the whole page in this video. I just want to give them a little test run, and then I'll probably finish the page off camera at a later time. I'm going to get a sheet really quick to separate. I don't know if these pages, the ink bleeds through behind at all. Got some scratch paper. Better safe than sorry. All right. Another page over here. All right, so we're just gonna get working on this. So we'll start with the red. The background of the Gryffindor is red. I should probably put something in here to kind of bookmark. Grab a sticky note in case I need to turn back and reference. All right. So we're just gonna use our red and we're gonna shade in. All right, and I haven't tried sharpening these yet, but I'm sure I'm going to have to in the process of doing a bit of coloring. So we're just gonna jump right in. And you know, this paper, while not the thickest, it's not too bad, honestly. For a coloring book that was, you know, it cost me $12, not too bad. So since I don't really have colors to blend with, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. And I think I'll do a little bit of a darker outline and then lighter center. Kind of how I used to color back in the day. Yeah, this image, you know, this specific logo is just a very, you know, uses primary colors, very bold colors, so works really well with these, I would think. Yeah, I hope other people had the chance to participate in the Harry Potter Colorathon. I really enjoyed watching everyone do their pages. A lot of people had the different Harry Potter coloring books. Some people were really creative using other books that they had and, you know, turning them into Harry Potter theme. And I've never read the books, but I have seen all of the movies. And after the Colorathon, I actually called my mom up and I just said, hey, can you send me all the Harry Potter movies? I really want to watch them now. So that was kind of funny. Just seeing everyone, you know, and then you guys did some Harry Potter trivia and everyone was just talking about the movies. So I was just, man, I have to watch these. So she sent them to me. She does live in another state. So I got the first 2 movies in the mail last week. I watched one last night. I'll probably watch one today while I finish this page. And then she's going to send me the other ones in another box. So she kind of already had a box made up for me. She sends me little goodies sometimes for holidays. So she had a little 4th of July box coming for me. So she could only fit a couple of the movies. But yeah, now I'm just waiting for the rest. I've seen them all. I've watched them all in order before. Yeah, just, it's been a little while. Probably not the biggest Harry Potter nerd out there. I don't know all of the details, like some of that trivia you guys were going over. I did not know some of the answers. But if it was in one of the movies, I may have a general idea. Yeah, I don't get new books, coloring books too often. I like to color on the ones I've got, but I couldn't stop like thinking like, man, I just really want one of those books. I liked this one. It had a good mix of different types of pictures. I like some of the like pattern pages too, kind of like the wallpaper types almost. It kind of breaks up so it's not just all like portraits. So just noticing with these pencils, I mean they're going down fine, but I kind of wish it was a little bit sharper. I'm always hesitant to sharpen them at first, so I don't want to like mess up these brand new pencils that I just got. But I feel like they could be a little bit sharper if you just look. It's okay. Could be sharper. Okay, I'm just gonna do some kind of lighter general strokes. Yeah, I mean they lay down pretty easily. I don't have to put too much pressure down. They go on pretty smooth. They go around the tail on this side. So since I still have Harry Potter on the brain, has anyone taken those quizzes where you find out which house you belong in? They ask you like different questions and kind of get your, I guess, personality type and kind of your way of thinking about things, and they sort you in a house. I think the website's called Pottermore. So I took it when I was listening to the Colorathon, and mine was Hufflepuff. So that's down here, the yellow badger house. And it gives you a whole long like explanation of why you were put in that house, what like values that house has, whether it's like loyalty or knowledge or bravery or whatever the different categories are. So I don't know, I always knew obviously Slytherin's kind of like the, you know, oh, evil wizards come from that house, but not everyone in the house is evil. And then Gryffindor, you know, all the main characters are in Gryffindor, so I kind of shy away from the mainstream. So I always thought, oh, I'd be Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff, and I guess it kind of chose for me. Hang on, guys, I gotta let my dog out of the room. Here you go. He likes to sit with me, but I guess he got bored. And I have to keep the door kind of shut because my husband's playing a game on the TV. Okay, that's some nice even color, nothing fancy. Laid down some red. I mean, it looks pretty good. I might kind of shade around the edges. Should we try sharpening it? So my Prismacolor sharpener has two different holes. I think that's really out of focus. You can see this one is bigger, this one is smaller. So I usually use the bigger one anyway, but let's give it a whirl. It fits in the hole. Ooh, okay. Look at that point. That's much better. Okay. It didn't break it. Let's try it out now. I mean, they're pretty soft, so I can see how it can't probably hold too sharp of a point. Same with Prismas. You can't sharpen them too much or they'll just break. But yeah, well, it seems to be holding. Just going to go around the edges. Darken it up a little. Yeah, I was very excited to get these things. It was just the 4th of July holiday, so that's why I think the art stores were having some sales. And I don't know, I'm like a little kid on Christmas. I just love, like when you get something new, you're just like, have to try it right away. And it's Saturday here, so I don't have to work. I can just play with my toys, make a video, watch some streams, watch My Harry Potter movie. Okay, so that's the Gryffindor red. The Slytherin green is the dark green, so we're going to use just this green. I think I'll sharpen first because it's so much easier to use these when they're sharper. Okay, got a nice point. I'm glad that they work in my Prismacolor sharpener. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do the 4 colors. I might try a little bit of gold, but I'm not going to sit here and color the whole picture. I don't want this to be too long of a video. But yeah, thank you to all the new subscribers to my channel. I've talked with you guys in some other people's chats, live stream chats. So, like I said, I've been on Instagram, but I'm a new channel. I started my channel up in May, so you may have watched some of my other videos. But yeah, I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not as serious as some other channels where, you know, they can promise, oh, new content every Wednesday or whatever. Mine's just, you know, if I have time or I get something new and cool to play with, I'll make a video. Otherwise, it's just whenever I have time. I don't have the fanciest webcam or the fanciest coloring techniques, but I just enjoy coloring, enjoy sharing with you guys. Trying to get brave enough to do a live stream. The next event in the coloring community is a Disney colorathon. I think it's in August. So I don't have any Disney books, but maybe I'll get one. Maybe I'll be brave enough to do a short stream. Thinking about it. I am starting a new job in a couple weeks, so that's going to take up some of my time and energy. And the last thing I'll have to do before we sign off of this video is do a little bit of blending. So right now I'm just straight coloring, but I'll try a little bit of blending before we go. Yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty well, just straight coloring. Not leaving too much white on the page. I'm not pushing too terribly hard. And while I love blending and creating different effects, you have days where you're just tired and you just need to unwind. And if you can just straight color something and just fill in the page, it's really relaxing and gratifying. I've had kind of a long day already. It's only like 2 o'clock, but I had like a doctor's appointment and just some chores and errands, so. I am coloring kind of in the same direction, but I'm not getting like huge streaks or anything. Again, I'm just going to kind of outline the edges a little bit darker. This book would be fun to use markers in as well, but I don't know how the paper holds up to markers. I primarily use water-based markers, so typically I don't get a lot of bleed through. The only alcohol-based markers I have right now are Sharpies, just because the alcohol markers are pretty expensive, but I have my Tombas, my Stettler markers, the fine liners, and the dual tip fiber ones. Yeah, it might be fun to see how markers do in this book next. Okay, there's our Slytherin little section. I'm gonna go down here. I know Hufflepuff is a yellow. So the only thing with this picture, as we saw back here, is the Hufflepuff color kind of blends in with the gold a little bit. But when I do the gold, I'm probably going to do it a little more orangey brown, so should be okay, but we'll do yellow on Hufflepuff. And they're calling it deep cadmium. I don't even know exactly what that is. I know cadmium is like a metal, right? And they use it in some art supplies, but I didn't know it was a yellow. Kind of thought it was like a red. Okay, nice and sharp. Let's do the same thing. I'm not noticing too much like smearing. I mean, there's a little bit of kind of like dust that comes up coloring with them, but that happens with my Prismas all day. So I think it's just part of using soft pencils. Just on the edge. Something else, I don't usually get coloring books that have like movie characters or like TV show characters. I don't know, because then you're kind of forced to stick to like the same colors as they are in the show. I think the only other book that I have that has like actual characters in it, I have one Mario book, and it's just kind of a cheap one that I got on Amazon because my husband and I are Mario and Nintendo fans. But yeah, so getting this Harry Potter book was, it's not my typical kind of book. I couldn't resist like seeing everyone else's pictures. And that's what's so dangerous about watching your guys' videos and your streams is like you see new art tools and new art books, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I really want that, and it's really hard to resist the temptation. But yeah, I figured this was only $12. Amazon was able to send it to me on like next day shipping for like the same price as, I don't know, a week shipping or something, because I live near Seattle, so they have a lot of the Amazon warehouses. So I got it in one day's time. I figured, you know what, doesn't hurt. Just get it, splurge a little bit, treat yourself. And as long as I'm using what I buy, it's not just like sitting on a shelf, then I figure it's worth it. Every time I use it, it was worth the amount that I spent on it. So the pencils were on sale, the book wasn't too much. It just gets dangerous if you start like justifying it and just getting more and more things. I'm kind of a frugal person. I don't tend to buy things I don't really want or really need anyways. My hubby is the spender. I'm the saver. But you kind of need one of each. If you have two savers, you never get anything fun. If you have two spenders, then you have a problem. Alright, here's our nice bright yellow. I do like how bright these are. I tend to lean towards more bright colors anyway. I like the bright colors. I just did a page in Daydreams. It was an ocean picture, and I was trying to use more like earth tones for like the seashells and different things. So I think it looks good, but it's not as bright as I'm used to. So I was like not happy with the picture that I took because I was like, the colors aren't bright enough. Okay, and then Ravenclaw. In this picture, it's a lighter blue, so we're going to use this blue versus the indigo that was darker. Oh, sharpen again. Nice and sharp. And as you guys have seen, I haven't had any breakage yet, so hopefully I don't jinx myself just now, but sometimes with the Prismas, they just break and break over and over again, and then you have to keep sharpening them down, so that's one complaint I have with those, even though they are my favorite pencils of all time. I don't know, I'm really enjoying these. Maybe for Christmas I'll have to ask for a larger set. Another pencils that I'd like to try because I've heard that they are a softer pencil is the Black Widows. So I don't know if anyone else has those, but I'm tempted to give those a try. I haven't seen them in store, so I think I'll have to order them. As everyone says, I don't like the pictures of like the scorpion and the spider, and But it is a good marketing technique if you ask me, because they do stand out. Everyone knows what you're talking about when you say, oh yeah, those pencils that have like the spider on the front. I'm not a bug person. Just kind of getting into some of these little spaces. Yeah, the point holds up pretty well though after you sharpen them. Same thing with Prismas though, just kind of turning it so that you keep it sharp. You can kind of maintain your point by constantly turning the pencil so just one edge doesn't get too dull. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. It's Saturday here, I may have mentioned already, right after 4th of July. Kind of recovering. My dog is very scared of the fireworks, so funnily enough, there weren't as many fireworks on the 4th as on the 3rd. So I think everyone was like so excited. They shot off all their fireworks on the 3rd. They could stay up late because they didn't have to work the next day. And then on the 4th, I didn't hear as many fireworks. Most people probably had to work on the 5th because it was a Friday. My husband did. So on the 3rd, I was up to, at least 1 a.m. with my dog trying to like comfort him. But on the actual 4th, I think I went to bed at like 10:30, and he seemed to be calm enough. He's not so bad when the fireworks are like off in the distance, but people were shooting them off like right across the street. Like it sounded like they were like right outside the window. So that was scary for him. I mean, even though it's not necessarily scary for me, it's still really loud. Like half the time I was waking up because he was crying, like whining, and half the time I was waking up because it was just a loud boom that woke me up. I don't know, I probably sound like a grouchy old lady, but I don't like all the kids shooting off their darn fireworks. They're scaring my dog and waking me up. That's okay. I always tell people that, I'm in my 20s, but I always say I'm like going on 75 because I have like an old soul. I'd rather like stay home and relax than go out. Maybe other colorists feel that way as well. Or maybe it's kind of an introvert thing, but I think I'm like in between introvert and extrovert. I need some, contact and socialization, but I can also just have alone time and quiet time and recharge. Alright, almost done with the blue. Now just like going around the edges and making it a little bit darker on the edges. Okay, so there's our 4 colors for the 4 houses. The last thing I might try is the H in the middle here. So it's kind of like a more golden color, and then this has some black and red. Might just play around a little bit with the H in the middle there. And, it doesn't have to be exactly like the picture. Might use a little bit of black, a little bit of brown, and a little bit of red. I don't know. We're just going to try something. I just want to see how colors can do kind of working together. So the top parts is black. I'm just going to do really, really light with the black because I want to bring in some other colors. I want to use some brown. And then I'll have to figure out how to do gold, but I'm not going to sit here and figure it out right now. So that part is dark, and then this is missing a line. Sorry guys, I'm trying to match it up with the other side. In the picture in the back, it has a line right there. So I just kind of want to see how the colors play together. Because I want to put some brown in here. Hey, Barry. Can you jump? You gotta close my door. Ugh. Okay, so we got a light layer of black. And then, let's see, which brown do I want to try? I don't know, maybe we'll do the no, let's do the dark brown. I'll use the terracotta when I make the gold. It's dark brown, we're going to sharpen real quick. Yeah, these sharpen pretty easily. I just didn't want this to be like so black, so we're going to go over with the dark brown. Yeah, seems to be coloring or covering pretty well. And it almost gives it, because this has like these green undertones, so it almost gives it like a metal kind of look. Bear in or out? My husband's making lunch in the kitchen, so of course he wants to go see what food there is. Okay, so they blend pretty well. Of course, this isn't creating like any type of gradient, but just using one color on top of the other. Always gives things a little bit more interest and dimension. And especially when you have such a limited color palette, you can create additional colors this way. So, you know, I don't really have like a silver or like, you know, a metal kind of color. So if I don't want just brown or just black, here we go. And I think I'm going to combine the red with the terracotta, because I don't want the red to be exactly the same as the Gryffindor red, which was just straight red. Okay. So let's start with the terracotta this time, then I'll go over in the red. And I'm going to keep the terracotta on the same side as the dark, so I'm just going to kind of even give a little bit more shadow. Oh, I got a little bit of break there. I think I sharpened it too sharp. That's the first time that's happened, so can't be too unhappy about that. Yeah, so far I'm really liking these pencils. And this is only like one paper I've tested them on, but they're doing well with this paper. Pretty similarly to how they performed on my swatching, where a little bit of white is showing through with medium pressure, but it's covering pretty well. They're really pigmented. They're really soft. Okay, so I just did a little bit there, and now I'm going to go over with the red. So it'll be a little bit darker. And then I'll probably go back over with the terracotta one more time. But then we have a little bit darker of a red on one side, a little bit lighter red on the other side. And then I'll do a color blending test really quickly. And then we'll call it good. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the terracotta again. And these are getting a little bit of like a waxy buildup now. So I did go over with the red pretty strong. So I'm not sure if it's really going to take much more of this pencil. So part of that's maybe the paper and part of it's maybe how hard I was pressing. But you know what? New tools, you got to learn how they behave. Okay, but obviously that's a little bit darker than the red from the Gryffindor. Alright, so that's our test page here. So I can zoom in this way as well. And then we'll do just a little bit of a blending test. I think I'll just do it. I'll just use a little bit of scratch paper that I've got. Move this out of the way. So I'm going to finish that picture off camera. Definitely check out my Instagram shortly, however long it takes me to see the finished product. So back to our swatches. We can try two colors that are very close in color, and we can try two colors that are very different in color. So the blues are pretty similar. Let's try blending the blues together and see how that works. So starting with indigo, so we're going to just do a little test here. So just kind of some harder pressure into some lighter pressure. And then we'll bring in blue. So again, darker. Just see if we can get some blend, some gradient here. That's what I'm going for. So kind of going back over. Okay, we can get a little bit of a gradient. Let's try now with really dark on this side. We'll lighten it up. And we'll try really hard to light. See if we can get them to meet in the middle. And I think, obviously the Prismacolors, they're you can get two colors that are very similar. These do okay, but I don't feel like the light one completely blends into the dark. It's not terrible. I've seen a lot worse. I wonder what happens if we take some white in the middle. Blends a little bit, but I think more than anything, it's lightening up my indigo color here. You can see it coming off onto the white. But yeah, we get a little bit of blend with the white pencil. Okay, let's try some colors that are not super alike. Let's try, not that they're going to be that dissimilar. What if we just do like the red to the cadmium? So, sometimes you're doing like a sunset type thing, and obviously you could go through orange in the middle, but just for fun, let's just try the red to yellow. So we're going to try both techniques like I did before, where first we're going to try a gradient to the left, and then we'll try to meet them in the middle. Not focusing. Kind of see if we get this orange color here. little bit. Okay, let's try the other way. So we'll start red here. I'm gonna try the yellow over here. Now obviously the red is such a strong color. See, once you get to this like kind of overlap, not blending the best. Let's try our white. I think I cleaned off all the blue. Yeah, I mean the white gives us a bit of a blend. Kind of turns it to more of an orange in the middle. So we didn't even use the orange, but we got a little bit of orange in the middle there. So, I'd give them like a B minus for blending. Also, I just need to practice with them a little bit more. Obviously, if I had more colors, the blending might be a bit easier. But those were our little blending tests. Not terrible. Depends if you're using colors that are like or not. But I think you could make it work without too much difficulty. Again, just reviewing, we've got our swatches for the Derwent Coloursoft 12s. Do tell me if you have these pencils, if you like them, if you have any tricks, if you'd recommend them. And then I'm going to keep working on my Harry Potter page. Alright, everyone, so thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for trying out my new fun tools with me, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Have a good day.